Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto. Okay, and for any of my viewers that have been around for a little while, you know that I've been involved with Tap Global for quite a while now. I think since 2023. I have got quite a hefty bag of XTP. I think it puts me in the top 100 holders of XTP actually, but there are other people who have more, obviously, and one of them is Uncle Dazza. I noticed yesterday that he replied to this post here. It was actually from March the 6th when Tap posted, if you could pay for everything with your card using just one, what's your pick? I was actually quite surprised to see crypto there, because I can't think of why I'd want to spend my crypto at the moment. I could see why I'd want to spend it maybe 2 months ago, but at the moment I wouldn't want to. But really, there's only 141 votes here, so that means nothing really. Anyway, Uncle Dazza said, I think it would be a good idea to take away the charge for loading the card. My Wise card does not charge me to load it, and I use that all the time. Yeah, I do as well. I use Wise as well. I also use crypto.com as well, none of which charge anything if you load the card from your bank account. If you do it with a card, they do, but not from a bank account. But Tap replied saying, we would like to clarify that we do not charge any fee to load your card. And I was really confused by this, so I said, is that actually true? And they said, adding funds to your Tap card has never carried a fee with us. I know for a fact that isn't true, so I said, so why did it talk about loading fees in the terms and conditions? This is the main reason I never use my Tap card. And Tap replied, just to clarify, there's no loading fee And Tap said, just to clarify, there's no loading fee for the Tap card itself. However, loading your money account with fiat does come with a fee, as outlined in our terms and conditions. Okay, well, we'll look at those in a minute. There's a reply here that was hidden because I said, okay, well, I'll carry on using my crypto.com card then, because there's no fee for doing so on that card. And because I wrote crypto.com, it made a link. Tap replied saying, oh, you've posted a link to a competitor. We don't like that. If you do it again, we're going to restrict your account. I don't know which account they're talking about. Do they mean my Tap account or my X account? Either way, it wasn't very nice and I didn't like it. Anyway, they've hidden it now, so it's either because they didn't like my link, which obviously they didn't, or maybe they didn't like the reply they did because it wasn't very professional, to be honest. In the notifications here, this guy, Lee, he started talking about how they're going to introduce salary pay, so it means you'll be able to top up your account from your salary, which currently you can't do because you can't pay money into an account that isn't in your name. So if you work for McDonald's, the money is going to come from McDonald's into your account, and at the moment that won't work. It has to be in your name. So I think that's going to change. And Lee was saying that that won't have a fee for doing so, and I kind of said, well, it probably will, because it'll just be another bank transfer, so they'll just charge you the same. I mean, I was guessing there, but there again, so was Lee as well. I do honestly think it will just be the same as a bank transfer and the same charge will apply. But let's have a look at these charges. Now, if you go to the website for Tap, I mean, they have improved the website a little bit recently. They put some new pictures there, which is nice. But what they haven't done, they haven't updated their terms and conditions. So these terms and conditions here are out of date. They're from 2021. Back in those days, there was 3 kinds of account: a standard, black and titanium. You used to be able to get the titanium by staking 500,000 XTP. But that's all changed now. So this is all out of date, so they need to fix that as soon as possible, I would have thought. The up-to-date terms and conditions are on the app. Now, what I did a while ago was I did screenshots of these and I put them on my website. I'll leave the link to this page in the description so you can read it if you haven't got a Tap app on your phone already. So what I'm talking about here is these loading fees here, and these apply to the new tiers of card, which are these 6 tiers now. So there's an essential one that's free, and then there's premium tiers. Well, they're all premium, but they're Plus, Prime, Premier, Platinum and Prestige. They definitely like their P's, don't they? At the moment, I'm just on the plus tier because I just wanted to see if I'd use it, and sure enough, I don't. But that is because of these loading fees, because the cashback you get back is actually 0.5% for the free one. Now, I think that's really good. I also think they shouldn't do that. I think they should just make it 0 for the free tier, because that's kind of giving money away, I would have thought. For the premium ones, if I use my card, I would get 1.5%, and then you can get up to 8% for the higher tiers. So the amount of XTP you have to have locked, these numbers here aren't actually correct. What that actually means, that actually means the amount of pounds worth of XTP. So at the moment I've got like £300 worth of XTP locked up to get this tier here. So this is actually incorrect, but that's how it is on the phone at the moment. So that's another thing they need to fix, really. So that's what you get in cash back, okay? Now what it costs you to put money on the card, okay, so to go from the cash account to the card costs nothing, but to get it into the account anyway, you have to pay for that. So that's £2 for the free one, which I suppose is why they can easily justify the 0.5% cash back. And that goes down to 25p for the prestige tier. Now there is limits to how much you can load at once. Now, I might have got this wrong before when I've talked about this, because I realise now that the cash wallet loading limits, okay, so that's getting money from your account or your card or whatever, getting that from there to the actual cash wallet, if you like, on the app. It's not going to the card, okay, so that is actually £1 million for all the tiers, unlimited per day. And the limit via SEPA transaction is £250,000 for the lower tiers, £500,000 for the mid tier, and £1 million for the top tier. So there's no problem there at all. There are lower limits for loading by debit card, but I can't see who would do that because the actual fees for doing that are actually quite high. But I suppose if you're on one of the higher tiers, it could make sense. Now, this is what I'd noticed before, was the loading limits to tap card. Now, I understand now that that is just moving it from the cash account to the card. So what they're saying is there's no fee for doing this, which is fine, because that means, it's €5,000 per time. By the way, these are all in euros, even though this is the UK terms. This is because the base currency of tap, regardless of what country you're in, is euros at the moment. Now that might change later this year. On a discussion with Arson and Peter last year, I think it was in December, Arson was saying that in the next 2 quarters they were going to introduce proper GBP accounts. So when you actually pay pounds in, it will actually be in there as pounds. And then when you spend it, it will be pounds. So there won't be any foreign exchange fees. There are at the moment, I believe, but they are kind of hidden and you don't really notice, to be honest. And hopefully that is absorbed by the cashback you get anyway. Now, just to make it clear, I'm not dissing Tap at all. I think it's going to be great. I really want it to be great because obviously I'm, well invested myself. However, there are a few things that I think could be improved. Things, just little things like, sorting out the terms and conditions on the website, making them match what they do on the app, and making it clear on the app that the amount you need to stake isn't the number of XTP, it's the amount in pounds. Just stuff like that. I think that would be like a good step forward. Uncle Dazza did say, I certainly think Prestige and maybe Platinum should be free. I know other cards in the fiat space offer free fiat loading and must offset their cost in other ways. Uncle Dazza is a top 15 holder of XTP. Wow. And heavily invested in Tap and really wanting to be successful. Yeah, me too. Which is part of the reason I'm making this video, to be honest. Lee was quite vile to me here, sort of saying that, 25p is nothing, you shouldn't be moaning about it and all that kind of thing. I don't really care what Lee thinks, but the amount we're talking about, 25p, that is for the prestige people. Okay, so that's people who are staking £20,000 worth of XTP. Okay, so that's not everyone, I don't think. I think if you're going to stake £20,000 worth of an altcoin that is down like 99% in value, you've probably got a lot more money besides that. So yeah, sure, 25p is absolutely nothing. I think for the majority of people, I think we're probably people who are going to be staking, I don't know, I'd guess sort of like, £2,000, £4,000, that kind of thing, which would put you at loading fees at around £1 or 75p, that kind of level. So what I want to do is just work out what these loading fees, what makes you break even, how much you have to spend to get back that amount from the cashback. So, for example, with the essential, the free tier, £2 divided by the cashback, which is 0.5%, that means that you need to spend £400 to break even, which is not brilliant, but I suppose not too bad. With the plus one, the one that I've got, so that £1.50 divided by 1.5% means I'm actually in the money after £100. Okay, so I suppose not too bad really. It's a couple of supermarket shops, isn't it? Let's try the Prime. So with the Prime one, you're in the money after £33.33. Let's call it £34. With the Premier, it's only costing 75 pence, but you are getting back 4%. Now this is the one where it starts to get better than my crypto.com card, and it's actually only £18.75 I need to spend. Okay, so this is looking reasonably attractive, I suppose. Now the Platinum is probably the premium tier that I might go for, and the one I was intending to go for yesterday before the argument on X. But that meant I would be paying 50 pence to load the card, but I'd be getting 6% back. Now, I actually think 6% is quite good. So literally you are in the money after £8.34. And for the ballers with the big card, the 25 pence is getting them 8% back, which is £3.13. Yeah, okay, I can see the attraction. But I'm just wondering if this £2 loading fee for the free card, if that's going to put people off straight away. I honestly think if that was £2 and the rest of them was £0, that would make people want to get the higher tiers, and it would make them want to lock up their XTP. Certainly would for me. I'd love to know what you think, so please do leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. Do you use Tap Global? Are you intending on using it? Are you waiting out for the GBP accounts? I'd love to know. While you're down there, please do give the video a like and make sure that you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. And above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto has to be one of the best YouTube channels that the United States has ever seen. Kamala Harris is not a subscriber, but I am. I have notifications set to all as well. I'd strongly suggest you subscribe to Save with Crypto today. Above all, you should tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is not a financial advisor. He just makes ice cream on the internet. If you cannot find someone to do your own research, you must do it yourself, just like I did not.